It's 3:30 in the morning, and I just finished a double shift at work. So, what better time than now to do another big block modified setup? What's up, everybody? Thomas Brandon here. Welcome to another video. Like I said, we're going to be taking a look at the big block modifieds again. Now, this week they are at Weedsport. Now, one of the things that I noticed, that I've been noticing about these cars is the setup matters, but it matters pretty much because of your driving. You see, I've been doing a lot of testing with these things, and what I've realized is that there really is no secret sauce, right? It's not like one of those things with, you know, the wing sprint cars where it's like, hey, do X, Y, and Z, and your car will be faster than the others. With these, it's really about matching your setup to your driving style and maximizing your abilities on the track. And when it comes to these cars, one of the things that you got to be able to do is keep these things straight. You see, the straighter you keep these things, the more grip you have. The more grip you have, the better you're off. So when it comes to building setups for these cars, the number one thing that I'm looking to do is keep them straight. Now, for some drivers, this might make the car feel extremely tight. But in this video, I'm also going to cover how to actually drive these things so you don't end up slowing yourself down by getting the car too sideways, spinning the tires, or just flat out missing the line. Now, when it comes to building the setups for these cars, the track state is a really interesting factor. You see, unlike the other dirt cars that we have here in iRacing, big blocks qualify and then run a feature. Now, not only do they run a feature, but they run a 50 to 75 lap feature. Now, when you take into consideration that the features have right around 20 cars in them for a full split, you've got a track that can start off around 5% and end somewhere around 60 to 70, even 100%. So when it comes to building a feature setup, you want a car that's going to start off decent, right? Okay, and finish strong. So when it comes to building my setups, everything that I'm doing to have that last half of the run be better than the first half. Now, this can be a really tricky thing to do, especially when you're talking about guessing what track state that's going to be and trying to determine what the car is going to be doing on the track or where everybody else is going to be running and what the line is going to look like. So for me, what I've been doing is I've been setting the track state to around 30 to 35% and then building my setups. Then once I've got the setup built, what I do is I then go to a 80% track state, test it, and then I'll go to a 10 to 15% track state and test it once again. Once I've got a setup that basically feels good throughout that entire test, now I know I've got something that is good enough for me to race, and then I go from there. Now, one thing to note really quick, if you actually like these setups and you want to actually continue getting custom setups built like this, you can join my insider program and get the big block mods. All you got to do is click down in the link below. I'll have a link down in the description below, and you can sign up for them. They start off, it's $4 a month for the big block mods. That's $1 a week. Now, don't worry, for those of you who don't want to have to pay for setups, I'll still be putting out free videos and stuff, setups, that type of thing, for the big block mods throughout the season. I just won't be doing it every single week like I have so far this season. But that aside, let's not worry about that right now. Let's actually take a look at this setup. Qualifying setup is not very different than the feature setup. In fact, there's quite a few similarities. Like I said, since I'm usually building the feature setup and then going from there, my qualifying setup is basically based off of the feature setup. I kind of do it in reverse than you would with the other cars. So here we've got 4 inches of stagger on the tire pressure up front. We have 10 and 10, 1 inch of stagger up front with 8 and 8 in the rear. On the chassis side of things, we're running a 225, 175 for our front springs. We've got a 2.6 and 7.2 shock combo up front. And then on the rear, we have a 5.6, 9.3. So that's the spring shock package that we're running. Our trailing arms are at 26 and 18. Wheel spacing I've got at 2 inches up on the right front again. half an inch on the right rear and 1 inch on the left rear. Chassis J bar 16, droop 16 and a half. Got the left rear bite maxed out, and then we got 3/16 axle lead and a 509 gear. Okay, so that's what we've got for the qualifying setup. Now, the feature setup is a little bit different. So I left the tire pressures and the stagger alone. Okay, that felt good throughout, and so I just left it. All right. On the chassis side of things, didn't do anything to the front end of the car in terms of the springs and the shocks. In fact, I didn't change springs and shocks anywhere. The only things that I've changed is I did a little bit of tweaking on the wheel spacing. I did move the right front end some, which you would probably be thinking, like, Tommy, wasn't that going to loosen up the car? Well, yes and no. One thing you have to consider is now that we have a lot more fuel in the rear, these cars are not like sprint cars where when you add more fuel, it makes the car feel like it's going to be sliding around and all stuff like that. That's not the case. These are a little bit different. And so moving that in, it helps the car turn in a little bit easier, but it allows you to get off the gas and actually drive it straighter. And so it has kind of a reverse effect as to what you would think. Makes the car feel really, really good and comfortable. Okay, and then I also moved the left rear end some. Okay, and we got 17 gallons of fuel. When it comes to the fuel for these cars, it's the Weedsport 60 laps this week. All my fuel calculations have been coming out to about 0.23 per gallon or something like that. 17 gallons gives you like 80 something laps. I'm just going to go with that because I would rather give you a setup that has too much than not enough. Okay, so if you want to change the fuel, do that at your own risk. Okay, but that's what we've got for the fuel. And whatever else. 149 to the left rear maxed out once again, 5/16 on the axle lead, and then a 506 gear. So that's what we're running for the feature setup. Okay, so that being said, let's go turn a few laps. Now, like I was saying, when it comes to driving these things, it's all about keeping them straight, keeping these things hooked up, maintaining that grip. Okay, less is more with these cars. Now you can see in the center here, I've got my pedal inputs up. You can see my throttle. The line that I've been running is, it's right on the bottom with this car. Okay, even as the track slicks off, you want to stay down low. Now, once again, pre-gen and dynamic are two different track states, so that could change, but from the testing that I've done so far, the line is on the bottom. All right, so when you're coming in, you want to, really slow down. It's almost like you're driving an asphalt car through here, and then roll into the throttle, and then get down low, and then you want to almost do like a diamond here, so you can cut down under that slick, but you're going to be slowing down once again. That time I got a little too high, but luckily these cars are not like the other ones where if you get into the slick, you just snap and spin. These aren't like that. This new tire model is really, really nice. I'm really looking forward to them getting it on the other cars. But you can see how much I'm slowing down to get into that corner there. And then here, once again, get down low. Watch out for that inside wall, because that thing will definitely bite you. You can see I'm just getting to full throttle at the end of the straightaway. It's not like I'm stomping on it. Now, if you do want to go to the high line, first of all, don't hit the wall. You got to be careful that you make sure you get the right angle, otherwise you're going to smack that wall with your tail. And then coming out of 4, you want to make sure that you got yourself pointing down the straightaway. A little bit of brake won't hurt neither, to help you keep you from sliding up into the wall. Right there, I got the rear end around a little too much. But, oh well, that's okay. But that's pretty much it, okay? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You know, like I said, less is really more with these cars. I've talked about it in every one of these videos that I've done so far. This is third week running. You know, you've got to be good with that throttle, okay? And when you are in these official races, when you're done with the race, go back, watch the replay, watch the guy who won the race. Listen to the car. You'll hear how much they're backing out of the throttle. I see drivers all the time in these official races, they've just got their foot down. I can hear their car just motor singing as they're right next to me. And I'm literally passing them at 50% throttle. You've got to maintain grip. These tires are, it's not like the other cars where you can just hammer down with these things. These are much more like real life, where you actually roll in and out of the throttle. The throttle is a rocker. It's not an on-off switch. So you want to start developing that, because the better you do that, the better you'll be on the track. All right. So that's going to do it all for this video. Now, really quick, do me a favor. If you like this, please hit that like button. Also, make sure to subscribe and then share this. Share this video with the other big block drivers out there. There's a ton of them. I see them. I mean, the races have been filling up like crazy. So share this with them so they can get some help, so they can get this set up. Hopefully it'll help them on the track. Also, like I said, if you want to actually join the Insider program, come check it out. I'll have a link down in the description below. Just join my Discord server and you can learn all about it. And even if you don't want to join the paid program, there's a ton of other free stuff that you can have in there. Like I said, I'm still going to be putting out some other free setups throughout this season. It just is not going to be every single week in terms of the free stuff like I've been doing so far, but I'm still going to be putting out some stuff. I'm still going to be helping you guys out. So if you want to check any of that stuff, like I said, links on the description below. And then lastly, if you want to join me, I do live stream every week on Twitch, Wednesdays and Thursdays. This week I won't be live streaming on Thursday since it's New Year's Eve, but I'm going to be trying to live stream on Wednesday. And then the following week, our league is kicking back off, the NARC, and we've got a ton of stuff happening. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays we're going to be racing. We got 6 classes that are kicking off that first week of January. It's going to be a ton of fun, and I live stream when we're running those league races. So if you want to check any of that stuff out, links for all of it down in the description below. But that'll do it. As always, thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, I want to wish you good luck and good racing. Take care.